Hello everyone, welcome to the replay. Thanks for joining me for another card tonight. I think we have moved into the Christmas card making season. I just have so many stamps and I want to make cards and show you all the different things you can do for Christmas. Some of the stamps may be current, some of them may be past. But you should hopefully get some good ideas for how to use, or, cards that you can make for Christmas and maybe just substitute other colors or icons or stamps that you might have in order to make some cards. But hopefully, no matter what, it'll inspire you to start making your cards now because you're going to want to send them out, at the end of the month, beginning of December. So only a few weeks until then. So let me see who's here. Let me say hi. Hello, Karen. Hey, Mary and Giada. I've got some stuff already cut. Let me show you the stamps we're going to be using are the Comfort and Joy scrapbooking stamp set. Now, currently, I just checked my online store. You can get the stamp set, but you cannot get it with the thin cuts any longer. It looks like they are out of the combo set. So it's just the stamps. Not a big deal if you want it, specifically for the poinsettias. They're easy enough that you could cut out these little pieces. So yeah, the thin cuts would be nice, but they're easy enough that you could hand cut. And then, maybe the titles, these two sentiment sections. I don't know if you want to get that fancy to cut around it. Up to you. But just letting you know, this stamp set is available, not the thin cuts. I'm also going to be using this stamp set. Now, this is an older stamp set and it's not available anymore. But I like this sentiment that says, "May the joy and wonder of the season be yours." I think it's just a really pretty sentiment to use. I do love the poinsettia here, but it wasn't big enough for what I wanted to do today. So I'm just going to use the sentiment out of it. And I'm going to use the two poinsettia stars out of here. And the little sprig of greenery as well. So let me show you. I did pull out the thin cuts on mine because I got mine early enough that I do have the Stampin' Thin Cut set. So I pulled out both. The one that does kind of the background layer and then the one that does the front layer that'll have all the leaves and the berry detail. So I'm going to cut, I'm going to stamp and cut this out of White Daisy, but I do have, let's see, I have Scarlet and Candy Apple because this is the paper I'm going to be using. This is the Comfort and Joy paper pack, and I believe it's still available. It calls for Candy Apple, but I think it's too bright. So I'm going to try the Scarlet. Either way, whichever poinsettia I don't use, I can use on another project. And of course, the green New England Ivy I can use for the little greenery piece. So that's not a problem. I will make do with that. Here's my cardstock that I'm going to cut my pieces out of. And I'm probably going to cut first and then stamp so that I can cut multiples and then stamp them. For my card, I do have just a plain white card base and a piece of black cardstock cut at 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Oops, I'm going to have a horizontal card today. And then I cut 2 pieces of this Comfort and Joy paper. So I cut a whole piece with the green side up and a whole piece with the red side up using my stitch rectangle so that then I could cut them and use one as a top half and one as a bottom half. So of course, now I'm going to have a bottom half and a top half left. So I'll be able to make a second card. But the reason I did that was because I didn't want the stitching to look backwards on here. On this side, you can tell the stitching goes in. On here, the stitching feels like it's coming up, obviously, because of the way the die cut it. So just so that everything would look more natural, and I did one with the green, one with the red side, so that then they would both be forward facing. Now, I do want to cover up that seam, and so I pulled out some black shimmer trim. That'll give us some nice shiny trim on there to just close that gap, so it'll make it look nice and neat. And then for the sentiment, I'm going to heat emboss the sentiment down here in black. I'm gonna hope that it shows up on this red paper. Otherwise, I'm not sure what I can do. I'm looking at my metallic markers, but I don't have any white ink that I can like rub to make a lighter background. And I wonder if I might be able to use like the almond, but that might be too brown. So we're just gonna hope that the black embossing powder works to show up with that sentiment. Okay, enough talking. Let me get to some die cutting. I'm just going to cut my paper. I had a 4x6 card in White Daisy, so I just cut it in half so that I can, obviously not going to be able to get the 2 flowers on there, but I can get these 2 pieces, and then I'll use another piece of White Daisy to cut the other part of the rosette or the poinsettia. And like I said, I want 2 of them because I'm going to try it in the candy apple and then another one in the rose gold, and not in the rose gold, in the scarlet, to see which one matches better. Okay. Just feeding that in. And let me. Oh no! Hold on. My die moved on me, and now it's off the paper, so I need to just move it back. Here we go. And I'm just gonna run it back through just to make sure that it went through both pieces of paper. And now I have the 2 pieces cut with this die. I have the 2 pieces cut with the second one and this greenery. Actually, I think I want just one more set of greenery, maybe even 2 sets. Just to put behind for a little bit of added detail. I need some new plates for this puppy because it is getting super old and has a lot of indentions, so it's wanting to keep my paper. Okay, that should be enough. So there's that, and that. Now I need to get my stamps ready. And this is a really pretty poinsettia piece. You do have to be careful when you're peeling them off the sheet for the first time, or any time really. Anywhere where the stamp gets narrow, if you try and rip this off the sheet, the carrier sheet, it could potentially rip the acrylic. Now, normally that wouldn't be a problem because it's just a clear acrylic and you could totally put the two pieces back together and it wouldn't make a problem. It would make a difference when you stamp. But a lot of people don't like that tear, which I totally understand. You're paying good money. You want your stamps to stay, but you have to take care of them. And so remember to take them off the carrier sheet carefully in order to prevent that. I have torn them before, and it makes you want to cry because it's just like, oh no. Nobody wants torn stamps. That's for sure. Okay. Now, I'm just going to stamp all these pieces. Trying to focus because I don't want to miss. I'm not exactly lined up right over the paper so that I can gauge. Otherwise, if you didn't have a camera in your way, it's so easy to stamp because you can see clear through to the bottom. Okay, now this is the, let me get my little, okay, I've got the stamp. This stamp is for the thin one that doesn't have any design on it. So it's just going to be plain red, but I did not season this, and so now I'm afraid that I'm not going to get a good image. See? Now, how well does that go with our paper? You know what? I can test it ahead, right? Before I use them, or before I do those, that way I'll know which color works best. I'm wiping off the stamp, and I'm going to just season it. Okay, now let's try the candy apple. And let's see how this red looks. Oh, yeah. Okay, so now if you look, this red definitely does look better. It looks like more in tone with this. This looks brown now compared. So I am going to use the candy apple. Awesome. I'm so glad that I stopped for a minute and did that little test. Okay. Trying to go straight down, and I missed. Well, but it's also a background, so hopefully it won't matter. That is not. There we go. This one should be better because I think now the petals matched with the cut. Oh yeah, much better. Okay. Whew. Definitely wipe your stamp, especially if you use red inks, because You don't want it to stain any of your other stuff. And then gently peel it off the block so that you don't tear it. Okay, now let me season the other poinsettia. Awesome. Okay. And just gonna stamp. I want to make sure that there we go. Those are the right petals. Oh, what would be really pretty. Okay, I'm gonna try a rock and roll with the poinsettia. That doesn't match. Okay, it's gonna go this way. I'm gonna take that scarlet and I'm gonna tap it around the edge of the poinsettia so that we get some of the color around the edge. And let's see how that comes out. Ooh, pretty. Very, very pretty. Awesome. Okay, good deal. Good deal. We're good. Put that away. Wipe this down. My blocks still all need a good wash. They just have residue from when I use the Versamark and stuff like that. So I need to clean them up. Okay, great. So see now, when I stack these, I've got that background and the foreground. And then, of course, putting in some little greenery in the back. Really help build that up. Okay. I can also add a little bit of shimmer brush into that center. That avocado is too green. What is gold? The gold works well. Just gonna brush it in a few areas to maybe give us some shimmer. It should. Okay. Now, for that center, I'm going to take one of my adhesive dots and put it right back here. There we go. So it has a little bit of dimension off of that back leaf. Okay, we're good there. We're good there. What we need to do is emboss. So, let me see. I've been talking and haven't checked in on y'all. Hi, Mom. Hey, Lily. Thanks for coming in. Just rubbing the anti-static pouch on this piece so that I can use my embossing. Oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do Christmas cards all freaking month long. That's gonna be a long time. But I have so many things to use that I probably could. So you know what? I'll try and throw in some other stuff between now and the end of December, or the end of November as well. Oh my gosh. Okay. How long can we do Christmas cards before it's like, okay, no more Christmas cards? I'm gonna have to do a schedule so that I can do some stamps of the month, some Christmas, some birthday, just kind of have different sentiments or different cards going on. I don't want y'all to get tired of Christmas, and I don't want to be a Christmas channel. We'll have to see what everybody is doing. I'd love to getting ideas from people. Now, something I definitely should have measured prior to making the cuts on the paper was making sure that I had enough room to put my sentiment. No matter what, we'll make it work. I was afraid that this black wouldn't show, but it does. Okay. So the only problem I'm going to have is right where I make that connection, I'm going to have to move my black shimmer trim just a little bit up so that it doesn't overlap this. But that's part of the game. Okay. Let's start assembling, and I think we'll be able to finish this off pretty easily. It's black cardstock, so I guess it doesn't matter which side you put the adhesive on. And just try and center that off. It's going to have just the tiniest little border. Okay, so obviously this piece needs to come down a little bit and match up. Where's my shimmer trim? Okay. Let me do it this way. So I can do it right above the sentiment so that I don't catch it, but I will be able to cover up right where it meets. And I do like to leave some of the clear backing so that the next time I go to use the shimmer trim, I have something to start peeling it from. And I don't have to fuss with trying to find that edge. Okay, and so I'm just going to add that on. Okay. I'm going to add it with some foam dots as well on the back side too. But mostly just around the center area. So that the leaves really do kind of stand out. Okay. Oh, now I gotta peel all this backing. I need to take some, probably some shimmer, the clear shimmer maybe, and add it onto our little branches. I'm going to turn it around because right here where it's got these little extra pieces of ink, I want them turned down. Okay. I'm going to take my Spectrum metallic markers, and I think that I'm going to give them a dab right in the middle of that flower to make it a little more yellow. To make it a little gold, I guess. I could have gone with the silver on that one too, but whatever. And now I can just go in and add these. And so, let me color them with a little shimmer, maybe some clear shimmer to start off with. That'll just give us a little extra shine to work with. I'm really unhappy about that. My brush is getting crazy. So I'm just gonna add the adhesive like on the bottom half. And kind of just kind of tucking them in. But not too far, so that way they can still show. Let me see if I even need this last piece. Kind of want to add it in there. There we go. Hello. We need, I take some more of the clear, and I'm just going to dot it on where the red berries are, just for a little extra shine, because I'm not going to add any sparkles. I know, shocker. Like nothing dimensional. Although this would be a great place to add stickles, which is like a glitter glue. I just want to make sure my dots are big enough. But that'll give it some shine. But I don't think I want to add any gems or any dots or anything. I think I'm going to leave it like that. So let me pull it in so you can see that detail on the embossing and the shimmer trim. We've got our dimension on our flower with all those little foam circles. I really like the greenery that's not sticking. Oh, I see why. I probably tried sticking it to the shimmer trim and it's not always going to cooperate. Okay, just kind of burnishing it down in there. But it's just one more level to add to our poinsettia. You can see, if you wanted to, I guess you could add maybe a little bit more, maybe some more circle dots to the back of these top leaves just so that it will stay put, because right now it's like just on that one. Hey Deanna. Hey Carger. And that shimmer brush on the berries for a little bit of shine. Thank you, Dora. Okay, and then of course our faux stitching with because of our rectangle thin cut. But there you go. Lots of detail, lots of shine. But you saw that was pretty easy to make. So easy enough to put together. So some alternatives, if you don't have this stamp set or you don't want to get the stamp set or you already have plenty of Christmas stamp sets in your arsenal. Simple rectangle here. If you've got double-sided paper, cut it at whatever point you want and flip, right? So that you've got the front from one and the B side of the other. Use string, use shimmer trim, use another piece of cardstock to cover up the seam, and it makes a really nice joiner. So this icon can be a Santa, a snowman, a snowflake, a Christmas tree, a stocking, you know, whatever your icon is, whatever your Christmas icon is. You could be doing a birthday card. I don't care. Thank you, Christy. The design elements are the same. You know, you've got your square. You're going to mat it with another piece if you want, you know, to kind of contrast and then bring in that trim here. Whatever your icon is, and then your sentiment. And an easy design that you can replicate for a multitude of different occasions, for different cards. And all you'd have to do is just switch out whatever you're going to put here, and then, you know, your coordinating sentiment. So use up any kind of paper that you have. Most paper nowadays, back in the day, the scrapbook paper used to come single-sided, and the back side would just be white, and then they figured out, hey, we're wasting lots of room, we're wasting a whole sheet of paper. So most paper, I haven't seen single-sided paper in a long time. So take that double-sided paper, they're meant to coordinate, you know, cut it at like a 2/3 to 1/3. Just eyeball it. You don't have to measure that. So if this is, you know, 3.5 inches, 375, give this bottom half maybe 2 1/4. So when you flip it, you have a nice fraction here so that your eye sees that this is the base. It kind of brings your eye it gives your eye something to focus on. This is your nice decorative top. Here's your embellishment that you want to bring your Noah focal to, and your sentiment. Stamp the sentiment, emboss the sentiment. You could even put it on a little tag. However you want to get your sentiment on there, that's fine too. You know, it could be a sticker sentiment. It could be just a single word. The point to this is, here's a simple design that you can take and make over and over and over again. So that's all I've got for you today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you like the card. I think it was a really cute design. It's something that we'll be able to make over and over. And if you're making cards along with me, if you're been inspired, it doesn't have to be the same card, obviously. But whatever you're making, please share that in the group. You don't have to share it on the public page. I know that's a little bit too public for people. So within the group, on the group page, Crafting with Claudia, you can share your stuff. And I'm, definitely want to be encouraging and supportive of that. And then I'm going to take, everybody who contributes, and at the end of the month, choose a winner to send a little something to. It might be, I don't know, maybe just a pack of gems, or a pack of pearls, or maybe an ink pad, maybe, some twine or something like that. Something small. Maybe every once in a while a shimmer brush, you never know. I do have an extra black shimmer brush up here. That might be good for a prize. So I definitely want to encourage, if you're creating, whether it's cards, scrapbook layouts, whatever, please share with the group. I want to encourage everybody to be making something. Share with the group, and I will take everybody who shares and put them in for a drawing at the end of each month. And, send out a little something. So thanks everybody for joining me. Thank you for the comments. Thank you, Lily. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Deanna, Mary, Christy, Dora. I appreciate you all coming in and leaving such nice comments. We will see y'all tomorrow, but early tomorrow, because I do have an out-of-town game. So I'm not sure what time I'm going to come on, but I will have an early card tomorrow. Until then, have a good evening. Bye-bye, everyone.